Hello and welcome to this edition of Special Interview on Crime Watch. And today we'll be talking about preservation of crime scene. Oftentimes in Nigeria, when a crime has been committed, you know, we have all manners of people going in and out of that scene. Now, joining me to, you know, discuss this is a security expert, Dennis Amachree. Welcome,
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. A crime scene. How do you think a crime scene should be handled? Are we getting it right? Are we doing it the right way? If we are not, what do you think should be done differently?
Okay, I think we're not even doing it because a lot of crime scene situations or incidents have happened, and the proper procedures were not followed. And because they were not followed, the investigations were, you know, curtailed. You never get to find out the outcome of an investigation because the proper things were not done. And a crime scene is one that very, very important and should not be contaminated by all kinds of people that don't even realize that they are contaminating that particular crime scene. So, you see, if there's a criminal situation whereby, let's say, somebody has been killed in a house, we've had a couple of situations, like the Bola situation. We have the Funsho Williams situation, which I personally, you know, was aware of. And before even the security people could get there, the crime scene had been contaminated. In fact, the one of Bola we had an American forensic expert who came in, and before he realized it, he said he was not going to do it anyway because the scene has been contaminated beyond
at times,
redemption.
Even by the families.
By everybody.
Okay.
Because people were coming in and going out and crying and touching things, and you know, that is not how a crime scene is supposed to be preserved, you know. And if you don't do a proper crime scene investigation to get the proper evidence, then there will be no conviction and there will be no exoneration. So these are the situations where we feel that if there is a crime, people should start to be aware of how to preserve that place so that the security people, policemen especially, could do their job.
Now, does it worry you that even at times the police officers who ordinarily should know better also get to a crime scene and you have them touch everything, they're not wearing gloves and all that, and how do you think that can be changed?
You know, right now, the Nigeria police, I'm aware, are training some people. You know, right now, I think about 168 policemen have been trained. Okay. Of them, 28 officers have been certified who can retrain other people. 16 commands have been designated to have CSI teams. That is, teams that can crime scene investigators. If there is any crime, they can go in there and do their job. And they are being well trained by very good professionals. So we hope that if that continues, we should be able to cover the whole 36 states and then should be able to do a better investigation.
But can you just run through the right process? If a crime has been committed here, what is expected of those present, both families, friends, even before the security agents now get involved? What's that procedure, sir?
Now, for instance, if we have a crime scene in anywhere, the first responder will get in there and then secure the area. You know, make sure that nobody comes in there or goes out. Cordon off the area, and then of course question eyewitnesses that are there and know what is going to happen. Now, when the forensic scientists come in there, they are going to go in there and started taking pictures. They know how not to disrupt the scene. Okay, and before they go in, of course, they are going to make sure that they don't contaminate the scene or the scene contaminating them, because there are two ways to it, you know. There could be poisonous things going on there, or blood that is not supposed to be, you know, touched or stuff like that. So we expect them to wear PPEs, personal protection equipment, like gloves, shoes, eyeglasses or face masks and stuff like that, so that they are not contaminated themselves. And when they go in there, they make sure that they leave the scene as it is, take pictures, because from the pictures later, when the scene has been shaken a little bit, things could change, but the original pictures will be there, which the investigators will look at. And then, of course, after taking the pictures, they can sketch, you know, sketch the scene, you know, and then, of course, observe some other things like blood splatter, things like, you know, fingerprints and stuff like that. Now, the underlying principle there is what we call the Locard principle. Okay. The Locard principle is basically which means that there is no crime scene or a criminal that goes and commits a crime that does not leave an evidence in that place. Yes. And goes out. He either will drop an evidence no matter what, you know. So it means, you know, the principle is a forensic principle, and you look out for those things, because there is no crime scene where the criminal has not left something. You know, if he does not even leave anything, he could even leave smell, and you can even arrest somebody through, you know, the kind of smell that they leave there, either a dirty smell or even a cologne, perfume smell, because when you smell that in that area and you go out during the investigation and you're interrogating people, you might come across that same smell, and that could click on maybe that's a target you're looking for. Okay.
Thank you so much. I was going to say, you know, in a country such as ours, where we don't have fingerprint data, database and all that, I'm wondering, when you pick up this evidence, what do you do with them?
Right now, no, right now.
How do you analyze the fingerprints?
Yes, right now, the police used to have a database, but I think it was not maintained, and it ran out. It was old because it was a paper evidence. But right now, they are building a database. At the police headquarters in Abuja, they are building a database where fingerprints can be actually cross-checked, put in there, and if there is a match, then they deal with that. So they are building it gradually. And of course, in Nigeria, we have a lot of databases.
Everywhere.
You know, PVCs.
Everywhere.
You know, bank ATM cards and stuff like that. All these have collected, you know, data that is out there.
I've always wondered why we don't have a central one.
That's the point.
When you want to get your driver's license, it's collected.
Yes.
The PVC.
It's collected everywhere you go. They keep on collecting.
And you still have the police having problems getting this.
Yes. So what the police could do, because I think the police could be the major agency to pursue this, by going to all these other agencies and, you know, getting everything together, because we have that data. You know, and they could put it together in a common data bank that could even be made available to policemen in their cars on the roads.
We've been speaking with security expert Dennis Amachree on preservation of crime scene.